Namaste, everybody. This is Jennifer from Awaken Yoga here near Cleveland, Ohio, and I am going to be taking you through just a nice all-level, what I would call Hatha class. So Hatha Yoga, and I know Westerners like to say Hatha, but Hatha Yoga originates from the translation sun and moon. So in Sanskrit, Ha means sun and Ta means moon. So what we're trying to do in the practice of Hatha Yoga is to ground ourselves and balance the flow of the nadis. Nadis meaning energetic pathways in the body. So by twisting and by folding and by opening the hips and all the different plexuses in the body. And if you watched one of my previous videos about the chakra system, I talk a little bit about how when we massage the inner body, it makes the outer body glow and glisten and have a sense of the skin becoming alive again. You know, your skin is the biggest organ in the body, okay? And what we put in the body comes out through the skin. So just like with yoga being this beautiful massage for the inner body as we're doing all these movement practices, becomes really important that we acknowledge how we're moving and we have that good awareness. And the best way to check in on your physical awareness through the practice of Hatha Yoga is to acknowledge the breath. So today during our practice, if you notice your breath is uneven or unpaced or feels disconnected, reel it in, maybe just come to a place of stillness for a moment and observe your breath. So in today's Hatha practice, I had just recently posted a video about the root chakra, okay, Muladhara chakra, which lives way down in the body, so way past even the tailbone, at the very base of your spine near your perineum. Okay, which is sort of this taboo area in the body, but where a lot of our movement comes from, you know, I mean, we're always constantly moving the pelvis in order to move forward, to back up, to reach side. So there's always something happening inside the pelvis, and when we're disconnected from our pelvis, what happens? There might be a dysfunction or a disease or an ill feeling through the lower back, you know, the glutes become tight, we get sciatica, hamstring pulls. So today's practice is about grounding, and it's about becoming connected again to the lower part of the body. So to be a Hatha practice, we have to be able to experience the movements through a little bit of warming and a little bit of cooling. So we'll have a nice blend of both. So we are going to start standing. And I'd like you to find yourself a quiet space where you have enough room to be able to open your arms, okay, sideways, and also open your arms forward and have room to be able to move around your mat today, you know, stepping forward and back. So if you want to take a second to pause this video to set up your space, you might want to grab some yoga blocks, a yoga strap, or a blanket just to have close by if you need them today. You can always improvise by using a strap-like material, like a rope tie or a necktie, just to have something maybe to open the shoulders with later. A beach towel for a blanket or anything at your home works just fine. And sometimes my students will even use like a stack of books to simulate a block. You could even have a chair, just any sort of raised item. But if you don't have any of these things, it's no big deal. My biggest concern would be something to pad the knees with, so maybe just at least a towel to have a little cushion underneath the knees, but you could always fold your mat in half if you'd like to. So just take a second to collect your items, and I'll meet you back here if you need to. Otherwise, we're going to get started in our most grounding of asanas, a key pillar pose called Tadasana. So I'm going to invite you to come onto your yoga mat. You can stand facing me or facing a window, wherever you feel you want to look. I give lots of instructions so you can follow along just audibly, or you can watch my body as it moves. So I am going to actually turn to the side so you can see a side view. So when we come into Tadasana, we want to stand with our feet right underneath the hip bone. So I do tend to stand a little bit wider because I am female and we have wider hips, but men might feel more comfortable with the feet closer together. So the feet come underneath the hips, essentially. And a lot of times we tend to stand like this with one foot out, or maybe we're trying to do is get that anatomical awareness where the second and third toes line up with your knees. So go ahead and turn those straight. Okay, and then just lift the toes up and press into the balls and the heels of both feet and spread your toes wide apart. See if you can even look down and see that. Have a little space in between them and then lower them back down. Now when we do that, what happens? We tend to want to lock the knees, so put a little soft bend in the knees, okay? And then activate your legs, just feel your thighs and your muscles drawing up in your legs. And take an inhale and then exhale. Root your legs down and your feet down. Okay, and then feel like you're squeezing your thighs a little bit towards each other. And as you do that, roll your thighs away. And this is a really nice foundational lower body Tadasana. Especially in women, the tailbone likes to lift up. So we need to draw the tailbone down. If you tend to be in the opposite, where the pelvis pulls up, then go ahead and just pull the pubic bone up to tilt the tailbone in the other way. So just play around with the pelvis between heaven and earth. Drop the tailbone down. And then these little ribs here, draw them back. Draw them back. Roll the shoulders up by the ears. And then the hard part's going to be, where's my head at? So we always love, as a society, lead with the head. But I want you to lead with your heart, okay? So bring the head back in line with the spine. Roll the shoulders down the back. Turn your palms out. And now look straight ahead. So what we call a drishti, or a gazing point, will become very important to you in your standing poses. Now find a comfortable position for your hands. Draw your palms forward and out, or maybe bring the palms to the heart center. Okay? If you don't get dizzy from standing with the eyes closed, if you can, close the eyes. Otherwise, have like them in little slits, or just look at your horizon line very calmly and hold your eyes in one place. When the mind jumps from branch to branch, oftentimes the eyes will do the same. So just keeping the eyes focused will be a way to calm the nervous system. Take another deep breath in through the nose. And that big audible sigh through the mouth. So I'm going to do that with you 2 more times. Deep breath in. And a big sigh through the mouth. Good. Try that one more time. Strong legs here. Take a deep breath in. And a big sigh out. Good. Now just breathe a steadying breath through the nostrils. In through the nose and out through the nose if you can. And feel the pressure of the soles of the feet rooting into the floor. If you haven't yet, really don't wear shoes or socks. Feel the actual skin touching the mat. It brings that sensation back to the skin, back to the element of earth in your body. Feel the strength in your legs, the strength in your abdomen. Keep your heart lifted and the crown of the head lifted. And we'll just start to take some slow breaths in and out. This is Tadasana, mountain pose. We want you to feel grounded here. If it feels unsettling to be still, it's okay. There should be a natural sway to the body anyways. You don't have to hold perfectly still, but just be strong and steady. Follow your breath in and follow your breath out. And then drop your chin just slightly to the chest here. And we'll make room for an intention or sankalpa for your practice today. So in the element of being in that nature of wanting to be grounded, let your intention rise up using the words, I am grounded. And if you need to end that statement with some other words, you can, like I am grounded in my life, in the present moment, in what I have to do. Whatever you need. And take another deep breath in through the nose and a big breath out through the mouth. Repeat that statement to yourself. And then I'll invite you to chant Om with me just one time. If you're used to chanting Om, take a moment to clear your throat, take a breath. If you're not, then you could always listen for this time around, and the next time you watch this video, you can chant with us. The Om, we want to take it in and we want to ground ourselves today, so draw that Om down deep into our body. So we'll take a deep breath in through the nose, and again a grounding sigh through the mouth, make a little noise, and then we'll chant together. Go ahead and inhale. Very nice. We're going to warm up with some Ardha Surya Namaskar, a little half sun salutation. This is a really nice way to warm up the body, especially if you're doing this practice early in the morning. So we're going to stay in this Tadasana, this mountain pose, but you can move your feet a little closer together now if you'd like. And if you find it helpful to bring the floor up when you take forward bends, maybe some yoga blocks might be nice, just stood up in front of you in case you need them. So I'll use those in my first round so you can see how they're used. So standing tall, we're going to take the arms, root the feet into the floor, and sweep the arms out overhead. Bring them up overhead. You can even bring the palms together if you want to. And turn the gaze up to the hands. And then as you exhale, reach the heart forward. So I am going to turn to the side so you can see this. As you exhale, the arms are going to sweep down at your sides. So don't squish your glutes. Lift your glutes, pull up and in on the belly, and lengthen your spine so you're not hunched over. So check your posture. Maybe you just stop here with the hands on the thighs to check yourself. And then inhale right back up. My core is really drawing in towards the spine as I do this. Take another inhale, and then as you exhale, just hinge, just slightly. Correct your spine, pull up and in on the tummy, draw the glutes up, and inhale back up. Good. And then one more time, we'll take that nice exhale. And this time we're going to come all the way over the legs. So if you notice, the belly comes in, the chest comes over the legs. And if you'd like those yoga blocks, move them right underneath the hands. And then exhale, just have a nice fold here. Okay? So we're going to start to straighten the legs. Now, I know it doesn't look like my legs are straightened, but I have really funny knees. So I have to bend my knees just slightly so I don't lock them. But you go ahead and straighten your legs to a comfortable position for you. Fold completely. Take a big exhale. Okay, my feet are still active. My core is still drawn towards the spine. Inhale and look slightly forward. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. And exhale, bow again. Thrust your feet strongly into the floor. Walk your hands up to your thighs if you need to support your back, or sweep them back up overhead. Big inhale. And exhale your arms out at your sides again. Okay? So we're going to do that 2 more times. I'll face you this time so you can see me. Are we ready? Inhale, strong legs, arms rise up, belly to spine. Exhale, heart moves forward, bowing down, hands to blocks, or line them up next to the feet. Inhale, looking forward, lifting the palms up or sliding them up your shins. And exhale, bowing down again. Inhale, press the feet into the floor, rise up again. It takes a lot of core to get yourself up safely. And exhale, the hands down to the heart. One more time. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, heart moves forward, fold over your legs. Inhale, listen to your breath. And exhale, bow again. Inhale, rise all the way up, big reach. And exhale, hands to your heart. Take a pause. Back to mountain pose. Mountain means what? Steadiness, strength, grounded, auspicious, magnificent. Feel that run through your body just as we start to get more warmed up. Take one more big breath in, and one more big breath out. Nice. So, warming up the body just a little might feel good. We're going to have our yoga blocks in front of us right here, and we're going to stand wide on the mat. So I'm going to have you take your feet giant step apart here. Okay? Adjust your wardrobe if you need to. And what we're going to do is come into some poses or asanas that are really kind of run through this shape in the body, the 5-pointed star shape. So we're going to start with just an easy forward bend. So the feet can come as wide as the wrists, okay? So if you notice where my wrists are and draw a line down to the feet, that's about as wide as we're trying to get. But for you, it might be a little shallower, especially if this is a new thing for you, okay? So opening the arms wide, draw the shoulders down the back. You see my fingers aren't lazy. They're really actively stretching. Dig into your feet a little bit and press into the big toe side of your feet. Pull up and in on your belly and do that pelvic tilting again. Pull up in on the belly, tailbone down, lower ribs back, head in line with the spine, and take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bring your hands to your hips, draw the shoulders back, and start to hinge forward. And bring your hands down to the floor or to your blocks, if that looks good. Okay, and then maybe the hands come all the way to the floor if you don't want to use the blocks. We're just going to keep the spine long and walk the hands back. Inhale, find that flat back again, and now exhale, let the crown of the head pull you down, and just take an easy forward bend. We're still not super warmed up, so give yourself 3 or 4 breaths here. Big breath in, and exhale, just empty the head out down into the floor. Inhale again, and exhale out. One more big breath in, and exhale out. Good. Tiptoe your fingers forward, look forward, hands to blocks or thighs. Hinge forward and rise up. Strong legs, strong legs, strong legs. Very nice. Okay? You can heel toe the feet back together. And we'll come back to mountain pose for that little pause. Bring the hands to the heart. Close the eyes if you like. And take a couple breaths in and out. Recall your intention. I am grounded. You can add to that. I am calm. I am centered. Inhale deeply and exhale out. Good. We're going to come back to that wide-legged stance again. This time, if you have blocks, just separate them a little bit wider. Okay? We're going to come into 2 big standing poses. Okay, now these can be easily modified for a beginner level. They do require a lot in the lower body and on the knees, so just be mindful. If this doesn't work for you, maybe you sit this one out, or maybe you practice in a different video where we modify with a chair. But we're not going to be doing that today, just to let you know, but we will in other videos have that available to you. Walk your feet apart. Okay, so again, shallower the stance means it's a little less demanding. So the wider the stance, a little bit more on the body and on the quads. Okay, you decide what's good for you. Open up the arms, take an inhale. I believe that you might be opposite to me as we're doing this on a video. So I'm going to go ahead and turn out what looks like is my left foot, but is really my right. So go ahead and turn out your left foot if you'd like. You'll notice that your hip's going to want to pop out, so draw it up towards the top of the mat. Drop the shoulders down. We're just going to warm up that front leg. Take a deep breath in, pull up and in on your belly. Okay, reach through the crown of your head, and as you exhale, bend the knee. Now watch, I'm not taking the knee over the ankle. It's still right here at the ankle. I'm not quite at a 90-degree angle. Go ahead and inhale and straighten the leg, and exhale, bend the knee. Okay, inhale. And exhale. We're going to do one more. Inhale, really pull on the lower belly. And then exhale, bending the knee. Okay, get that back arm up to shoulder height. If you want to go wider now, you can. We're getting more towards that 90-degree angle. These hips are kind of rolling back, especially your front hip is rolling down. Your back hip is pulling back. If you want to even assist your hips, you can. There's a lot of strength happening in these legs, so pull up and in on your core, draw everything towards the pelvis, and you might even feel like you're holding something in place here between your thigh and your knee. Look out over your front fingertips, straighten your front leg, take a breath. This pose is called Virabhadrasana 2. Take another inhale, and then exhale, bend into the front knee, gaze over those front fingers. Okay? This is your chance to be really strong and be really grounded. Now breathe. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 1. Inhale. Strong legs. Exhale. 2. And then 1 more breath in. Bring your hands to your hips. Straighten your legs. Turn your feet towards me and take a rest. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Okay? Opposite leg now. Go ahead and shift. Turn the right toes out. That back hip. Make sure it's not popping out. Draw it forward so our hip bones are nice and even. And then roll the pinky toe side of your right foot here down into the floor. And at the same time, press the big toe side in. Okay? We call that pada bandha. It means foot lock. Pull up and on the core. And then exhale. Bend the knee towards 90 degrees. And inhale, straighten. Let's do this a couple of times. Open up the arms. Go ahead and inhale, straighten the leg. And exhale, bend it again. Good. How about one more of these? Inhale. Now exhale. Soften the shoulders down. Reach through both fingers. And if you decide to, you can wiggle the front leg forward a little bit. Get that 90 degree. Okay? And then turn your gaze over your front fingers. Let's rest that front thigh. Inhale. Straighten the leg. And exhale, sit back into that front thigh. Good. Gazing over your front fingers, 3 breaths. You're strong. You're capable. Remember, as you're breathing, warriors need to be wise about how much energy they're using. Otherwise, they won't make it through the battle, right? So let your energy just settle. Settle on your breath. 1 more big breath in. Big breath out. Good. Bring your hands to your hips. Straighten that front leg. Rest again. Okay? So now we're going to do warrior 2 on each side. We're going to repeat that, but with a little bit less instruction. I want you to really feel the pose now. So legs as wide as you'd like. Go ahead and turn. Opposite foot out now. Go back to the left foot if that's the side you're on. Take an inhale. Draw up in and on that belly. Open up the arms. And exhale, sinking in. Drawing the knee over the toes. Now, gaze over those front fingers. 5 breaths. Smooth breathing. Breathe down into your belly. Nice grounded breath. 4 breaths. Good. Don't lose your drishti, your gaze. 3 breaths. 2 slow, steadying breaths. Good. 1 more big breath in. Hands to your hips. Exhale. Straighten the front leg right to the other side. Let's stay in our fierce inner battle. Okay? But it's a good positive battle. We're winning. Inhale. Open up. Strong and steady. Look out over those front fingers. Big breath in. Exhale. 1. Inhale. Soften the face. Relax your jaw. 2. Inhale. Belly strong. Reach through those fingers. 3. Good. 2 more breaths. Face is soft. 1 more breath. And inhale. Straighten the legs. Let's step the feet together. Take your time getting there. Oh, that was good on those legs. And bring the hands up to the heart or to the belly or to your sides. And close the eyes. This is your rest in mountain pose, Tadasana. Recall your intention. The intention naturally rises up. I am grounded. I am supported. I am safe. Okay, release the palms. Hopefully your legs are feeling good. Okay, so the idea of going to what we call in yoga the edge. The edge simply means that we're hitting a space in our body that is good tension. Tension that we need, muscular tension, to hold our bones up and hold everything in place, but never to pain. So pressure, but not pain, right? So we're finding our edge to keep our body strong, to make our bones strong and our muscles strong. We're finding our inner edge, right? How much can the mind handle? We're getting uncomfortable. And getting uncomfortable is good, okay? As long as, again, there's not pain. As long as we're not hurting ourselves and we're going against that practice of ahimsa, okay? So next pose or asana that we're going to do is Trikonasana, triangle pose, which is actually a very intermediate pose. So we're going to really modify it today just so we can get a nice lateral stretch. So again, we're going to go and turn the left toes out, and we're going to be back in our stance again that we were just in for warrior two, but this time the front leg's going to be straight. So you notice how that hip wants to pop out. Draw it right back forward. Your front toes point straight ahead. So turn your second and third toes straight ahead so your knee lines up with them. Then push that big toe into the floor and the little toe, and then straighten the leg completely. Okay? Turn your hips towards me, but not that knee. Keep that knee facing towards the second and third toe, and then pull your left hip back just a little and turn those back toes in a little bit. So you're in this stance with front foot straight ahead, back toe slightly in, and inhale, open the arms again. Okay, pull up and in on the belly, take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, it's going to be just a slight tip where the hand's going to find the thigh. So if you see, I didn't move my lower body. Hand's going to find the thigh, and the left arm's going to start to rise up as we travel the hand either above the knee or below the knee. You're not going to go super far. Okay? If you push yourself to the floor, trust me, your alignment is going to go out of whack, and then we're going against what we're trying to do. Now bring the head in line with the spine. So I am going to turn a little bit so you can see how that looks as I face the camera. When we come down, we tend to want to come forward. So bringing the head in line with the spine, drawing everything back and pulling up in and on the belly becomes very important. And then if you want to pull the head back and turn the gaze up towards the hand as long as it doesn't strain the neck. Take a couple of breaths here. See how you feel. Okay, and then inhale, push into that front foot to help you back up. Bring the hands to the hips. So that's always our little test round. Okay, we check things in. Turn the right toes out. Those right toes point straight ahead. Check those two middle toes. They're lining up with the knee. If the knee wants to turn in, roll it away and towards the pinky toe side of the foot. But at the same time, roll the big toe side of the foot into the floor. Okay, back hip tips up. Square the hips here. Inhale, reaching the arms up, draw the shoulders down the back, pull up and in on your tummy muscles. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, hand above the knee, arm starts to tilt up, palm towards the screen, and start to tilt down. Okay? Everything is engaged here. Head is back, heart is open, neck is open. Try not to drop the head here towards the ear. Lift the head in line with the spine. Think of an axis going down your body. And you're just keeping that line all in place. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Good. Push into your front foot. Come on up. That was your practice round. Step the feet together. It'll feel good for a second. Have a breath in and a breath out. So it's good to know why you're practicing these asanas. So Trikonasana is a lateral bend. It's really opening up our side gills, our side breathing muscles. Okay? It's giving lots of strength to the legs and to the lower back. Okay, we're opening the hips a bit. But Trikonasana is this asana that brings us between heaven and earth, right? There's 3 points in a triangle. And the number 3 is that balance between heaven, earth, and spirit. So allow yourself to open here on this next round. Widen the feet to a comfortable position or a comfortable distance. Find your arms nice and level. And again, if you like, wrist width apart with the feet or a little shallower. And let's go back to the left foot, turning the left foot out. Okay, pull that back hip in, take an inhale, watch the front toes, and slide the hand slowly above or below, just on the knee. Don't bring the arm to the floor and reach the left arm back. Okay, or right arm, sorry, top arm. Bring the head in line with the spine, turn the gaze to the hand. Okay, 5 breaths. Inhale, really work that front leg, try not to lock the knee. 4 breaths, smooth, soft face. 3 breaths. 2 breaths. Good. 1 more. Big inhale in. Exhale, push the front foot into the floor. Use your core. Slide up. Bend the knee. And slowly pivot toes towards the screen. Go right to the other side. Turning the opposite toes out. Back toes in. Level out your hips. Pull up and in on the belly. Inhale, open the arms. Correct that front knee as you need to. Long breath in. And exhale, sliding slowly down. Okay. Head back, heart open. 5 breaths. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Good. One more big breath in. And exhale, hand comes down to the hip. Lift yourself up, bend the knee, turn the toes. Good. Pull up and down the belly and step your feet together. And take a breath in and take a breath out. And the true meaning of Hatha, the result, is that we have come to a place of balance. So our last asana in the standing series will be a balancing asana. And we're going to stay with a classic, tree pose, Vrikshasana. Tree pose roots from mountain pose. It roots from Tadasana. So we've learned this. We've learned how to stand tall and how to stand mighty and whole. Not only energetically, but physically, like muscle hugging bone, using feet, using belly, using abdomen. So in order to find our tree pose, all we're simply doing is removing one of our limbs out of it, okay? So your trunk essentially is going to become one leg. That's it. That's all you're doing is balancing on one foot. So to take the fear out of it, balance on one foot. Lift your foot up, take a breath and put it down and do the other side. Of course, there's more to it. There's something called a midline in the body. And we need to find our midline to understand tree pose. So it's easier to stand with the feet together because then your tree trunk becomes a little bit more closer to the midline. Pull up and in on your belly, and I'll turn sideways again. Refrain from your posture coming forward or back. Pull up and in on the belly, head in line with the spine. Shift your weight over to the left foot. Okay? Spread those toes, root down. And as you pull up and in on the belly, just lift the left or the right knee up. And then take 3 breaths here with the knee up, just as high as you can lift it naturally. The hands are very natural on the hips or on the heart. And try not to touch a wall or anything around you because the nervous system remembers there's a helping hand there. Lower that foot down, take a breath in, take a breath out, and just shift right over to the other side. Again, using the belly, lifting the opposite knee up. You can go ahead and squeeze that standing leg glute and bring the hands to a comfortable position just for a few breaths. You can always roll the ankle out, it might feel good. 2 breaths. And 1 breath. So if you find that a little challenging or the balance is off, the first thing we want to do is hurt ourselves by saying something bad about ourselves. So don't do that. It's just a practice of breath. It's a practice of retraining the nervous system to trust yourself to balance. It's a practice of focus and concentration. That's why yoga is so good for you. So now we're going to go over to the other leg again. And this time we're going to try actual Vrikshasana tree pose. So this is an open hip pose. So we're going to bring the sole of the foot inside the shin. Whatever foot you want to start on is sometimes better in balance. And let the knee open to the side. Hip bones are still level. Woo! Sorry about that, guys. Take a breath in and then slide your foot up to the inner leg, below the knee. Okay? And with the hip open, you can practice here, tree pose, for a few breaths. If you're more comfortable sliding the foot up or even picking it up and pressing it into the thigh, you're more than welcome to do that. Okay? And then after a couple of breaths, decide what you want to do with your hands. It might take you a few breaths just to get steady. You can open the arms or even reach them up overhead. Woo! And then go ahead and release yourself from that. That was your practice round. I needed the practice too. And then we're going to shift our way over to the other side. Play around with that. Everything coming to the midline. Pull up in and on the belly. Little bend in that opposite knee. Turn the knee out. Slide the foot up. Press your foot into your leg and your leg into your foot. Okay? And then maybe if you want, slide it up a little bit more. Depending on the pants you're wearing, that might be successful or not. And then just standing tall, take a breath in, take a breath out. We're just testing the waters here. Your drishti is important. Find your gaze. Don't look at me. Look at a steady point on the wall. And then release that. Okay? So we're going to practice that tree pose now with ourselves for 3 solid breaths. So the goal is that you are doing the pose, being the tree pose for 3 breaths. So it takes a few breaths to get in, and then we want to settle. If you can get to 5 breaths, that's fine. You can just keep going and then pick up where you left off with the other side. Okay, so when you're ready, feet together. Pick the steady foot of your choice. Turn the opposite knee up. Take a breath in and slide the foot or pick it up and bring it up into your thigh where it's comfortable. Find your gaze to a steady point on the wall. Take a breath in. Steady yourself. Take a breath out. Good. And then when you decide to, where you feel most comfortable, place the hands either at the heart or up overhead. Soften the bottom toes. And find 3 breaths. When you find your 3 breaths, release the bottom foot. Take a deep breath in, let the arms reach up overhead. And exhale the hands down to the heart. When you're ready, you can pause this and go to the other side and practice a little bit more. Otherwise, I'm going to move with you. Shift over to the other side. Pick the opposite foot up. Slide it to a comfortable height. If you'd rather keep the toes on the floor, that's fine too. Hands to the heart. Good. Pull up and in on your belly. Strong arms if you want to reach the arms up overhead. Find your 3 breaths. If you sway a little, it's okay. Trees sway too. No big deal. Relax your jaw. 2 breaths. And 1 breath. Bring the hands down in front of the heart and release. That's your Vrikshasana, your tree pose. Bring your hands to your heart. Close your eyes. And come to the symbolism of those 4 asanas that we did now. Warrior 2, strengthening, strong, steady, and mindful about how much energy you're expensing at the cost of your actions in your life. Trikonasana, coming into that triple element, right? The balance of the 3 points. The balance between heaven and earth. Groundedness and consciousness. Vrikshasana, your tree pose, grounded in nature, limbs growing tall, roots growing deep. And then, of course, Tadasana, where we are now, mountain pose. Majestic mountain, magnificent mountain, grounded mountain. You are strong and steady. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And I thank you for joining me for this standing asana practice. At this point, if you'd like to go to your Shavasana or restorative yoga tape to calm yourself down, now is the time. Otherwise, I would recommend choosing our hip opening and forward bending sequence or a yin sequence after this selection of asanas. You take care of yourself. If you'd rather not follow along with the video, turn on some soft music, lay on the floor, and get yourself ready for Shavasana. Namaste.